So before we go into part B, I wanted to point out in your lab 5, number 8, it talks about creating widgets and the elements that the user interact with. So every widget that you use in Tkinter is defined by a class. Like a label is a class, a button is a class, entry is a class, text and frame. So when you use the label, it will be tk.label with the capital L like that. We know that that's a class. So to wrap up what we've seen with part A, we had created the buttons and also the label. So I had my screen capture there for you to see, but for part B, we are going to create a button that's going to count the seconds up until the user click the button to stop it. So first we're going to import Tkinter and we're going to create a window. We are going to create a counter variable that defines the counting method that count down every second. Then we're going to create an object. Then we are going to set it to a certain desired size for the window and the desired size. Then the label inside for the counting. We're going to call on the counting method. We're going to make a button and configure the button property and make it destroy once the user click it. And then we're going to have a main loop. So pretty straightforward. I had written down the steps for you, or the procedure for you to create that program. So it looks something like this. So I would have to import Tkinter as tk, and we need to declare the counter variable. Counter is 0. We have a method called counter label, and we wanted to have a nested method called count. And this is going to be a global variable where it's going to work from the outer, also the outer and the inner method. And we want to increment every second. So that's why we have a plus equal 1 there. Then for our label, we're going to have it configure. The text is going to be the string of the counter. That's going to be the number as it counts, but it's going to display as string. Then it's also going to show, we're going to have it, the dot after 1000, it's going to count up. So that's going to be every second. Now, this is the root. And this is going to be our window. The title of our window is going to be counting seconds. So instead of using the default with no title, we're going to have counting seconds for our title. So we're simply using title method there. And we would have a label. Our label is going to be green. And then we're going to pack our label. Then our counter label is going to be used. So that's going to show you. So see how the number is going to be green here. So if you want it like blue, yellow, you can put that there as long as it's easy to see. Also, you can make it, larger or smaller. It's really up to you. But we would have it, the counter to count up to be green. Then we are going to have a button. So our button, it's going to design to destroy, so it's going to stop when the user click it. So our button is going to be TK button, part of root. It's going to show the word stop or the string stop, and the size of it is 25, and it's going to destroy. We're going to pack the button, and then we're going to have a continuous loop to keep showing this window. So now, if I rerun this program, it's going to launch back up. It's going to show the number counting back up. If I click stop, it's going to go away. And here it gives me some information, some detail about that, if it was interrupted or whatnot. So, but for part B, you can see how you can set up a counter. Like for example, if you wanted to count down the number of seconds where the user would guess a word in a game or something like that. So we can have the second countdown, and then we can have it stop and destroy. So this concludes part B of your Lab 5.